When we feel lost, we automatically assume that it's a bad thing. And today I want to offer you a new perspective on this. So how many times have you felt lost and just thought that this was such a bad thing, and you automatically get into fixing mode and just wanting to get out of this feeling as soon as possible and just resisting the crap out of this feeling? I can relate. But today I want to offer a different perspective on feeling lost. And that is that being lost, feeling lost, can actually be a good thing and is actually a part of life and a part of the process. As we move through life, we move through so many different phases and chapters and sections that have a distinct beginning, middle, and end, right? So think of it like a book. When you're reading a book and you get to the end of the chapter ends, and then there's this blank space at the end of that page and before the next chapter begins. There's this blank white space, right? So when we're feeling lost in life, we're in that blank space between when one chapter has closed and the next one hasn't quite opened yet. So some people call this the void. I like to call it the void. And it's just this weird space where, like I said, this one chapter of your life has closed, but the next one hasn't quite opened. And in that middle space is nothing. It's blank space. It's quiet. It can feel floaty. And you're just not quite sure what to do with it. You're trying to read the next line, but it's not quite there yet because you're at the end of the chapter in the blank space. And so when we're feeling lost, the tendency can be to just resist this feeling and want to get out of it as soon as possible. But what if we try to relax into it? Relax into the feeling of feeling lost, knowing and trusting that the next chapter is going to open in divine right time. And this is the thing. As humans with egos, we want to know. We want to know for a fact what's happening next, when it's going to happen, and what the game plan is. We want to know. But we don't get to know. But we don't get to know everything that's going to happen in our lives. We're not given a playbook. And think, like, how boring would it be if we got this book, this playbook, this roadmap at the very beginning of our lives and knew every single thing that was going to happen, everything that was going to come down the line in our lives? What would be the point of that? So when we're feeling lost, we're in this beautiful resting phase between this other chapter that's ended and this new one that's coming in. And we're given this space to actually rest, to rest our physical bodies, to rest our emotions, to rest our nervous system, and to rest our minds. And to actually take the time to integrate that section of our life that is just closed out. We're given this time to reflect on the chapter that has just closed and to integrate the learning that happened in that phase. But we miss out on that opportunity if we're just resisting the feeling the whole time, needing to get on to the next chapter super quickly, trying to force the plan, trying to force the universe, and trying to force your life in a certain direction. Our egos wanting to know and be certain about something and know the next step can rob us of an opportunity to actually rest and integrate, absorb the learning, and have a little breather before we go on to the next chapter. We've been conditioned to move so quickly through life and just be on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. We're being tasked with relearning how to rest and how to actually embrace the cycles of life. Because we're always going to have cycles of productivity and cycles of rest. That's the natural cycle of life. You look at the 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. Autumn and fall and winter are times of slowing down and rest, integration, hibernation, chilling. Spring, things start to wake up again. And then summer is usually full on. We've got tons of daylight, tons of energy, tons of drive, right? Just like, and that's the same as with our lives. We have seasons, we have fiery seasons, we have watery seasons, we have fast seasons, and we have slow seasons. And where we can kind of get off track is when we're trying to make every season a fast season and constantly be productive and constantly be on to the next thing. We're going against our innate nature when we do this. So if you're feeling lost, this is actually a good thing. It just means you're in the in-between. A chapter or an entire book of your life has just closed out, and a new one is going to open for you. So relish in this time rather than lamenting the feeling of being lost. Just embrace it and lean into it. Allow yourself to actually explore this feeling and what's coming up. And give yourself time to rest and integrate and absorb everything that's just happened in this section of your life. It's a beautiful thing and it's a beautiful opportunity. And you will be amazed at how far you've come in this last season, in this last chapter. Acknowledge how far you've come and give yourself a little pat on the back, because life on earth is not always easy. And you've made it this far. Now you're in a beautiful resting phase to recoup and get ready for the next chapter. So, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like this video if you liked it and share it with someone you love. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love all of you. Sending you tons and tons of love across the internet. Oh, thanks so much, you guys. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.